Welcome to the Recovery Centered Podcast, a space for honest conversations about healing, hope, and the journey through mental health and addiction recovery. Each episode, we sit down with people making a difference, from therapists and researchers to change makers and survivors now, to explore what recovery really looks like in the real world. This podcast is produced in collaboration with Beachway Therapy Center. Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this. I guess that's irrelevant. My name's Tim Roberto. I am your host, and welcome to the Recovery Centered Podcast, which every week, every episode, we bring you a podcast with a solid message of hope and inspiration and skills and tips and all kinds of things. And, you know, it means a real lot to me because, my goal always is to reach that one person. And it seems like that happens from time to time, that we reach that one person. And I don't know anybody better to help me reach that one person than my longtime friend, Eric. Eric and I, gosh, man, I guess we met 10 years ago, maybe?
Probably 10 years ago, yeah.
Probably around 10 years ago. He's part of a family, and you don't hear much of that anymore because everything's corporate or buyout or all this stuff. And Eric still belongs to one of the longest, if not the longest, program in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Called the Beachcomber.
Oh, yeah. Celebrating 50 years next year.
That's incredible. And, there's magic behind that. And what family that's trying to do well or do good doesn't have magic? It's just magic. And the Beachcomber has been around, like I said, for 50 years. I've been in recovery for 18 years, and I've never, ever heard one bad thing about the Beachcomber. If anything, it's always been stupendous, like impeccable. And to have him and his family in my life, other members of his family in my life, I feel very honored. And so welcome to the podcast today, Eric.
Thank you, Tim.
Glad you're here.
Blessed to be.
Yeah, you are, right?
Yeah.
So, as of 50 years, he definitely doesn't look 50. What was it like? What was it like growing up in this space?
For the longest time, I thought it was a hotel. I would come visit my grandpa at the Beachcomber when I was a little boy, and he would have me play shuffleboard with the patients.
So cool.
And I always thought, it's just a hotel. And then, as I grew and learned and, found out that he was in AA and all this stuff and that he had been helping people, it was just, it was pretty amazing. And I became pretty intrigued by it, It's a pretty surreal thing to be told, like, your grandpa's an alcoholic, like he can never drink again. Alcohol does something for him that it's never going to do for somebody else.
Yep.
And, he started this program to help people.
Amazing, right? In his recovery.
Yeah.
So if you're down and out, I get that, and Eric gets that too, but recovery is possible to anybody who seeks it. And, I can only imagine in the 50 years, I'm very active in our recovery community down here, professionally and personally. And you know how many people over the last 18 years? I went to Beachcomber. Yeah, I went to Beachcomber.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of it. I worked professionally with a woman that was a part of the second group of people to ever come through the Beachcomber. She has 49 years.
That's amazing, man. That must be, so cool to hear that, right?
You don't hear that stuff ever.
No. No, it's a very unique thing that you got going. The spot is really incredible, too. I mean, oh, my God. How many cabins now?
So it's eight cottages. It's 16 beds total. We're
right on the beach.
Yeah, really close.
Right on the beach in Palm Beach County. Everybody wants to come to Palm Beach County for vacation and treatment.
Oh yeah. Hey, if I wasn't from here, I would want to live here for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, it's very special. Like you said, it's that family thing. Like, everything's so corporate now and conglomerates, and, they're buying out And after all these years, you've resisted, I'm sure, a lot of that stuff. And
oh, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's, over the years, we've had a ton of people come with dump trucks trying to buy the Beachcomber.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's always been the goal to keep it in the family and keep my grandpa's legacy going.
Yeah, I
Because I think that's what he would have wanted.
I think so too, and that's another reason, of your success for me anyway, is that moral compass that the Beachcombers always had, and you guys still hold on to it now. A lot of the younger generations taking over their parents or uncles, businesses. They just, like you said, as soon as the first dump truck shows up, it's like, because it's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
Right? The recovery space is a huge. I know at Beachway, like the commitments, it's intense. It's either like you're all in or you're not.
It is.
Right? Like every time I see somebody in between, it's like the machine eats them up.
They
the
fail.
addiction or the alcohol eats them up. Yeah. So you're a little kid, you're playing shuffleboard with the class. Awesome. I wasn't expecting that. So I love my job. Like podcasting's great. That's why you'll never see any notes from me. I'll never rehearse, because if you're rehearsing, you can't get this stuff.
You don't get the real scoop.
You don't get the real scoop. So you're shuffleboarding, like 6, right? 6, 8?
Yeah,
10?
5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
And then, what happens? Like, obviously, you're doing other stuff, sports. I guess as a kid.
Yeah, growing up, coming over here to go to the beach with my grandpa and, getting involved in sports. And, I just always remember him really, like, driving it home, like, how bad drugs and alcohol can mess up your life. And I thankfully didn't get touched by it, but
you didn't have the bug, right?
It's all in my family. I grew up with my older sister stealing my stuff and helping me look for it. I've marchman acted a cousin, and we've had plenty of family members go through treatment, so it doesn't discriminate.
No, park bench to Park Avenue and everything in between.
Oh yeah, you can have the what is it? The person that designed the bridge, the person that built the bridge, and the person that lived under the bridge all in the same meeting.
Oh, I love that. Boy, I'll tell you what, my dad was right. He goes, you can learn something new every day. I've been around for a minute, and I've never heard that one. I love it. But it's spot on.
I just stole it from somebody.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's spot on, man, from Park Bench to Park Avenue and everything in between, I grew up in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Very wealthy area. My dad was a fairly well-known doctor in Manhattan.
Wow.
I was born in Brooklyn, lived in Brooklyn, but even back then, that spot I think was, getting a little, as we would say from Brooklyn, a little fugazi. So Mom and Dad took off to Jersey. I grew up in North Jersey, Bergen County, and
Nice.
there was just as much there, and it's a really affluent area than there was in the hood.
Yeah.
I just think it was hidden more. Because, people, you got a lot of money, you don't have to do like some of the things the other guys have to do who run out of money.
Yeah.
Because that's addiction, right? The phenomenon of craving. You got your sister stealing stuff from her own brother. I don't think she woke up that morning wanting to do that.
Probably not.
But once it's in, there's that activation, that internal phenomenon of craving, and it's a wrap.
Yeah. Like you don't have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're moving through, right? Obviously, you're always around. I guess you've probably been to an alumni meeting or two.
Yeah, a couple.
You probably set up a couple of trips here and there.
Oh yeah.
Hey son, I need you to.
Oh yeah, they have me doing maintenance and cleaning out ACs and.
Is that where you learned your skills?
Roofing and a little bit, and YouTube.
For real?
Yeah.
It's one thing I've always admired about you. You're a smart guy, because I always thought I'd never had hands. Like, I was never mechanically inclined, but I guess, whether you have it or not, if you just look at something or you do something enough, right, you kind of understand the concepts a little better, the basics.
And I'm always trying to learn something new too. When we bought our house, I knew how to do some stuff, but I learned a lot of it as we went. And it was how
do you find time?
It's like an adventure.
Do you get frustrated though with some stuff? Like, I gotta go get another tool.
Oh yeah,
Home Depot again.
All the time. I'm a Lowe's man actually, but
yeah.
But it must have been there was days where we would do 5 or 6 Lowe's trips in an evening, after work.
I get
You
that.
come home from working all day. And
I get
all right,
that.
Time to get back to work.
Yeah, my wife used to tell me, Tim, you're just going to have to take a break because our son, he's a contractor out in Chicago.
Okay.
And it got so bad around here, he would send, we've done a couple like renovations, and so they sends the crew out
Oh, that's nice.
to us, yeah. And then, but you got to pay him every day. It's a daily fee.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot less expensive if you do it yourself.
Correct. I don't have the time. I don't have the tools. Like just the tools alone. I mean, you got to, to have a semi good day, you probably need thousands of dollars in tools just so you can make it easier on yourself, right?
Thankfully, my dad has a ton of stuff, and I just borrowed his stuff.
But she would say, Tim, you just got to take a breath because this is going to drive you crazy. This is just the way it is because I got to go to the Home Depot. I'll be right back. Got to go to Lowe's. I'll be right back. I'd be like, this is like the 8th time today. Like every time they go there and back, it's an hour round trip. It's like 7. I mean, what the heck? And then they pack up at 5.
Yep.
I get so frustrated, but I'm getting better. Like it's just the way it is sometimes, right? You gotta go again.
It's life, man.
So here you are. Fast forward, right? So you're you're the program director now there.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It's been a lot of work, but it's been good.
Yeah.
And we're in the process of trying to grow. We're looking to maybe add some beds, and we added a PHP program in our Boynton location. So
wonderful.
Is
that Mike running that?
Yeah,
Mike's solid.
Mike Flood.
Mike Flood. Yo,
He's
Mike.
the man.
We're giving you a shout out, bro. He is great, right?
Oh yeah.
What a great worker.
The best.
Such a good worker too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you own your own business, nobody works harder than you.
Correct.
Except Mike Flood.
Is he family somewhere along the line or no?
We adopted him.
You adopted him, yeah. Is he a
alumni?
He's alumni, right?
Alumni, yeah.
12
years.
12 years, yeah.
12 years.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Started out driving and working the desk, and now he's helping me run the place.
That's great. He's good like that, trustworthy too.
Yeah, very.
And just like you, got a good moral compass, principle before personality, doing what's right. And that's how you're looking why you're going to grow, for sure.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
Put people first.
Yeah, is your grandpa's sons, how many are still involved? Are they,
So,
because all of them were, right? And then there's a couple that kind of just retired.
Yeah. So my Uncle Joe, who ran the program for a long time, he's retired for a couple of years now.
Oh, okay.
And then my Uncle Frank, who was pretty involved as well, he's dialed back quite a bit. He's working like 10 to 20 hours a week, just doing like financial analysis and stuff like that. But
so it's you and Mike.
But yeah, it's Mike, myself, and my dad is still really involved.
Oh, your dad's still going?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I met your pop. What's his first?
Jim
I
Bryan.
think I met him a couple
Jim
times.
Jr. is the one with the mustache.
Yeah, I think I met him that time a few years back when you invited me to the alumni picnic.
That's right. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure you would have met him there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's wonder. You still doing that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually just had our Fort Lauderdale barbecue on Thursday, and we had 7 people pick up a year.
Wow.
7 pick up a year. 4 of them were in the same group.
How cool is that?
Those numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, and you're program director, so you're obviously very involved. That must bring a lot of joy to you to see, because you probably remember some of them, if not all of them, when they first show up.
Oh, yeah.
And then see, it's incredible, right?
Yeah,
to see what they're doing.
It is. It's pretty. Something that's really cool is we specifically sought out to do an LGBT program.
Nice.
And 6 of the 7 alumni that picked up their year were gay.
That's what's up.
So what we're doing is working, and it's really special to see. And they have so much fun. They come and celebrate.
Oh yeah.
We have our
it's freedom, man.
Our LGBT group on Friday, so it's open to alumni. So we have a guy that's still coming. It's got 7 years.
What?
Comes every week without fail.
For real?
Yeah.
So obviously he's getting something out of there they can't get somewhere else.
Yeah. No free lunch.
Yeah, but man, regardless of your sexual preference, what person doesn't want to be free?
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't want that at the end of the day, instead of you can't even go to bed without biting your nails to death and all like. I think it's just innate in all of us, like that human nature, the human design.
It's like carrying around a ball and chain.
Yeah, that self-imposed imprisonment. Like who wants to be like that? And on top of that, you got the bug, right? You got the alcoholic bug, you got the addiction bug, and on top of that, you're overwhelmed with all these other things. Like all the addicts and alkies I work with. I don't even bother like teaching them like I try to point out to them that you got phenomenal coping skills. They're like, what do you mean by coping skills? I said, well, you can leave the house with no money and get high? Oh yeah. It's funny, right? The program of recovery, it's like the only group of people I know that brag in the opposite direction. So that, well, you can leave with no money and get high oh yeah. Oh, you got 2 DUIs? I got 6. Oh, I remember one day I got pulled over with like 10 Quaaludes, we brag in the opposite direction,
Yeah.
But I don't want to really spend much time on that. I want to spend time on teaching them coping skills. They got, all addicts now got great coping skills. Alcoholics have 3, 4 different liquor stores, Even though they know what they're doing, it shames them into guilt. And I'm no good, I'm a loser, I'm an alcoholic. No, that's the lie. But that's just one lie that keeps you in the cycle of self-defeating behaviors, It's not a moral issue. It's a very serious health condition, But, the alcoholic will have 3 or 4 stores that they'll visit. Very rarely do I talk with an alkie that's just got just one store. But then again, it's the only kind of group of people I know that brag in the opposite direction, because sometimes the alky will say, oh yeah, I walked in at 7 o'clock in the morning, the guy was already putting the bottle on the counter. There's that badge where we brag about, yep. But, so it's the coping skills. And you guys do a phenomenal job with that.
Oh yeah, part of that barbecue is to teach them how to have fun without getting drunk and high.
I love that.
It's important to know
accountability too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And do you find yourself too like somebody who's showing up for a while and then they're not there? You're like,
Oh yeah.
Reach out, give them a call. Hey man, I didn't notice you. I noticed you weren't, like that kind of stuff too.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, we have. Actually, this past week, this woman texted me that she had 3 years, and
love it.
2 barbecues ago, her friend came to me and was really concerned about her because she hadn't heard from her and she wasn't coming to the barbecue and all this stuff. And I think she just had some health stuff going on.
Okay.
And she just texted me the other day, this big thing. Thank you. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Do you is that just another one of your positions there? Like, do you run the alumni? Does Mike help you? Or do you have an alumni coordinator?
I don't. We do have somebody, but we're looking to kind of develop that a little more.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want them to come back 100 times.
Yeah.
We just want them to come once and then come to alumni.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're looking to, a lot of programs have like a private alumni Facebook page, which I think we're looking into doing that.
I know Beachway does, and it's kind of very interesting what shows up in there.
Yeah.
And some of the conversations. But there's also like a lot of joy, and we're obviously not 50, we're 17 years, but 1750, when you do the good work and you do it well, and your recovery rate is good or better than say some other, that adds up quick. So there's a lot of life in these groups. There's a lot of life in, I know the Beachway Facebook alumni group. There's a lot of life in there,
Yeah, and it's not so much about getting them connected with us as much as it is about getting them connected with each other.
Correct.
Because we have people coming out of treatment every week, and we want to have them plugged in with the right group so that they're not set up to fail.
I couldn't agree with you more, and it's part of the secret sauce, because the opposite of addiction's connection, and if we can offer, because it's the right thing to do, if we can set them up like you're doing to succeed, not to fail. Alumni is definitely one of the main ingredients because you can't stay in treatment forever, but you can have a friend forever.
Oh yeah.
A comrade, or you can continue to talk or have a relationship with somebody that was in your group, and they know and they know, and there's something special about that not everybody knows.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, right? Like I used to hate all these sayings, you're as sick as your own secrets, and I would be that guy, But gosh darn it, man, the more energy I spend holding that in and protecting it, the sicker I become, because there's no authenticity in there,
Oh yeah.
But if I got that dude or that guy or that gal, then I went through it, and even one day she or he said to me, "Wow, that was a great job, man. You really got vulnerable." Like, all right, like, more about me than most people don't. My parents don't even know that much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think to continue stuff like that is part of the secret sauce.
Absolutely. Yeah, my grandma, my grandpa's late wife, Mona, she passed away in July of last year, so it just came up on a year. And part of her belongings that I got was this little box with little pieces of paper in it with these old AA sayings.
Oh, wow.
Keep it simple.
Yep.
Easy does it.
Wow. She handwritten. Was it her
Oh,
writing?
Yeah, it was her writing.
Was she in the program? Was
Oh,
she
yeah.
in recovery?
Yeah, she was sober like 45 years.
Oh, wow. So your grandpa was, and your dad, or your grandpa?
So my grandpa
Grandpa.
was begging for drinks in a bar at 6 a.m. and got sober in a psychiatric hospital and found AA and ended up working at Chit Chat Farms as the director of therapy.
Oh, wow.
Which became Karen later.
Oh, for real?
So yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. My dad's first job was for working for Dick Karen in the textile factory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, goes way back.
So Dick Karen, now, is there some type of tie? So he was the owner of the textile factory?
He was the owner.
So
yeah.
was it run in his family, and then he was one of the guys that started Karen?
I'm not sure his whole background, but I think he made his money in the textiles, in that manufacturing industry, and then I think he was a friend of Bill and wanted to help his friends.
Boy, Bill, see what you started, Bill? I mean, you really were handpicked, buddy. Bill Wilson. If you're contemplating or you don't know who he is, just look it up. It's Bill Wilson. He's one of the co-founders of Alcoholics Anonymous, and his story is in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's just very elegantly written. The way they broke it up, and his other partner there, other co-founder, Dr. Bob, chronic alcoholic, just like Bill, and it's just this miracle. There's a movie, My Name is Bill W. If you want to kind of get a little competent of what happened to his life and what's kind of like Eric's grandpa, chronic alcoholic, got to the point of submission, and in his recovery, he still lives today, helping people, and it's just so cool. And I facilitate a lot at Beachway too, because I just love groups. Like, for me, nothing disrespectful, of course. Individual therapy is awesome too, but there's something about group therapy, I think maybe the pressure's on a little bit more because Eric did something, now it makes me want to do something, or she did something, it makes me not so embarrassed. The power in group is just...
I think there's a lot of hope, too, because you hear stuff in there that you're not expecting to hear. And people get vulnerable, and I think it makes it more possible for you to get vulnerable if you hear somebody else put their
it unites us.
Secret out there, yeah.
It unites us, I know like a character defect of a lot of alcoholics is that loneliness, or drug addicts, that the loneliness. I always felt invisible my whole life. You know, a lot of times growing up, I always felt like, hey, I'm over here. Hello, hello, I'm over here. That kind of, you know, like just disassociated. And then of course, you know, you take a couple of pops or something, you steal that first drink, and that stuff just magically goes poof. You know, all the eggshells go poof.
And then it's all better for an hour.
Correct. But and on the clinical side of that, right, we call it euphoric recall. So the mind will always go back to that moment, and just it's I don't know, man. Like alcoholism has that strange mental blank spot to it, right? Like you'll forget about all the destruction that it causes, just to get back to that one time where it was just like, ah,
right?
yeah,
Part of our pre-screening assessment asks about their consequences, their perceived consequences, and you know, sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't have any consequences yet," and you know, it's like, well, how do you feel about yourself? What's thinking like right now? You know, and it really makes them think. I feel like, because you know, when you think about consequences from alcoholism or drug addiction, you think, you know, arrests, probation, you know, you're going broke, you're living on the streets. But I think, like we had talked about in the beginning, there's a lot of people that are very wealthy that struggle with addiction and alcoholism, and it's the same behavior. It just looks a little different.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. The behaviors are very common. It's a very it's really like the same kind of road, you know. The behaviors, whether you got a lot of money or you don't, right? Because it brings a lot of dysfunction, it brings a lot of chaos, it brings in a lot of pain, it brings in you know, just a lot of bad times. Like I hear it all the time. You know, I'll talk to people in groups or something, or even just out and about, and you know, so they always go back, or a lot always go back to. But I was functioning out. I was a functioning alcohol. I'm like, should I start with this person or not? So if I'm in group, I'll start. I'll start. If it's in casual conversation, I guess it depends on the conversation. But I say, so okay, so explain to me what functioning is, and that's always the same stuff. Well, you know, I kept my job, I kept the roof over there, I was paying the bill, and I said, okay, that's good. And then, you know, I hit him with well, how emotionally available were you for your loved ones, aka wife, children? And they go, oh man, I never looked at it that way. Okay, that's great. This is what groups therapy's about, right? Like having a conversation that you normally wouldn't have. And so I just say, let me ask you again, what's so functioning?
When I think functioning, I think just getting by. You know, when I think of like somebody that says they're a functional alcoholic, I think like they're just barely making it, just getting the things they need
Correct.
to get done.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it turns into justification too, you know, another excuse, because, you know, excuses sound best to the people that are using them.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
But a big part of like, you know, recovery and wellness and living a healthy life is like you want to function at your best.
Amen.
All the time.
Amen.
Why would you take something that's going to hinder that? Right?
There's so many moving parts to that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's it's a Band-Aid.
100%. But that's the part I call it the pimp. That's part of the pimp. You know, it's like the ultimate pimp. Like Vegas has nothing on alcoholism or drug addiction. That the illusion of alcohols and drugs is unbelievable. I believe it exists right in that spot. That's right next to my brain, and that little piece of my brain that tells me to breathe. You know, whether it's going good, whether it's going bad, whether you're in between, whatever. What you drink?
You know, my colleague was trying to explain alcoholism to a family member of somebody that they just couldn't understand. That why can't he just put it down? Why can't he just stop? And this family member has a serious addiction to their phone. And my colleague David, he said, well, let me put it to you like this. What if I took your phone from you and you didn't know when you're going to get it back? how many times you think you would think about it?
Mm.
How many times you think you would reach for it? That's addiction and alcoholism.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And she was blown away. She's like,
Great way to put it in perspective, you
Yeah.
know? Because it's, you know, I mean, that's a great, but I also tell people, you know, like if I talk to a mom or a dad or somebody that's outside of the, you know, the physical part of it, I said you'll never understand it because it's, how do you understand something you've never experienced?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? And that applies to anything in life. But with the alcoholic or the drug addict, they got behaviors and things that are attached to that, unlike other illnesses. You know, other illnesses, you know, we let people take care of us. People feel sorry for, oh, don't get up. I'll get it for you, buddy. You know, you said you get off that leg, you know.
oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And other illnesses, I don't know, God forbid something happens, you get picked up, you go to the hospital, you're in the emergency, oh my God, am I going to be all right? You know, you're freaking out. Just calm down, you're here now, you're safe, we'll take care of you. And they have their little process of elimination. Okay, bing, we got it. And you're, oh my God, thank God, am I going to be all right? Yes, but you have to do this, this, and that. And the majority, right? We're all compliant.
They do it.
Okay, we always let somebody else diagnose us. And that's what I try to teach alkies and addicts. This is the only illness that you have to self-diagnose yourself, nobody else.
Nobody can tell you.
Because I can put an alcoholic in recovery with a person who's just coming out of the fog. And I say, here's a guy named Eric. He's found a way out. I wanted to hook you up with him because he can show you how to do it. It's up to you whether you want to follow his lead. And yeah, maybe a week or two, and then all of a sudden it's like, this guy. Okay. But if you're contemplating it, use people who found a way out, like your YouTube. I've seen Eric's cottages, and they're beautiful. I've seen them when they were the original, which were impeccable. And then when they renovated them, I've seen the work. And half of that work he learned from YouTube. So he listened to the guy with YouTube. I guarantee you, he didn't fight with the guy, tell the guy, go take a hike. Oh, that's bullshit. I'm not putting that nail there. What the hell's your... Okay. And then if he quite didn't understand it, he put it in reverse. And he doesn't even notice, guy. He's listening to everything he's saying. But when it comes to alcoholics, drug addicts, mental... You got this person who has found a way out, trying to teach you, and it's like you're going into combat.
It could be the
crazy.
The highest credentialed doctor telling them.
They're the worst.
And they want to get a second opinion.
And they're the hardest.
Yeah.
And, you know, so far I've been okay with this, but a lot of those guys, I let them keep digging. And then I say, you know what, Harry? You become the smartest, dumbest guy you know. And they're like, damn.
I have a doctor right now that I just put in treatment that has 4 open cases. Got a DUI while he was in PHP.
God, I don't miss that at all, man. I just don't miss that chaos at all. The constant bombardment psychologically, physically, it's a constant bombardment.
Not a fun roller coaster.
No, it's incredible, right? And so for all the people you helped, I think it's just totally amazing because, you know, I'm just going to keep it real. You know, a lot of people don't make it out. But for the ones that do, it brings out that inner like spirit that we were talking about before. The soul just wants to be free. The brain just wants to keep score of everything. The soul doesn't. It's not in that arena. It's not in that business. It just wants to be free. It just wants to know what the command is for today. It's the brain for year after just absorbing everything. You know, it's crazy. So talking about like freedom and stuff like that, what do you know, you're in it like me. You and I are in the weeds, man. You and I are in the trenches. Like,
oh yeah,
this thing is brutal, right? We're seeing people at their worst every day. And if we're not seeing them at their worst, we're talking to them on their phone at their worst.
Oh yeah.
So we got What do you do for self-care, man? What do you do? Like, how do you get out?
I spend a lot of time with my family. I have young children. I have 2 daughters. One is 2.5, and the other is 8 months. I just actually put my 2.5-year-old in summer camp for the first time today.
For real?
So that was pretty.
How cool
pretty,
is that?
Pretty rough getting her in the door. She wouldn't let go.
Yeah.
But they sent pictures right after, and they're like, "Oh, she's doing great.
Yeah.
No big
The
deal."
initial, and then
Yeah.
And now probably tomorrow, whenever she goes next, she can't wait. She probably won't be able to.
Oh,
Where are we going? Am I
We're not
going?
going to be able to get her out of school.
Yeah, but that's cool. It's
Well,
kind of
yeah.
like recovery, Kids just hanging around kids. Like, I mean, they love us too, but they want to be around kids too.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I spend a lot of time with my family.
Yeah.
We have a dog. We like to go to the beach a lot. Love to surf.
How long you been surfing?
Probably coming up on like 30 years.
For real?
30 years.
Man,
yeah.
you've been out there you got out there quick.
Yeah. My dad was pushing me on a foam board when I was like 5.
Oh wow, that's unbelievable. Do you yourself? Do you ever take clients out since you guys are right on the beach?
You know what? We haven't started doing something like that just because of liability.
Gotcha.
But we've looked at maybe having like a third-party group come in and do like a surf therapy group, which would be kind of cool.
But so why is the liability covered if a third party comes in when?
I think you can, like, when it's your property and it's your program, you can have them sign whatever you want.
Yeah, waiver, right?
But if something bad happens,
It's still
you're responsible.
gotcha.
You know, so
I
if
gotcha.
it's a third party, at least that's the way I've seen other groups do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I did a professionals weekend up at Lakeview, and they had us go do surf therapy, but they had us do it with the third party group.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's for a reason.
Yeah, I can get that, man. It's important, we can get sidetracked a lot, but when it's all said and done, we're taking care of people's lives who are on the line.
Oh yeah, and it's not only their lives; it's their families' lives. It's we have 82 employees. It's them and all their families that we have to protect and make sure that we, do right by them and my grandpa's legacy. And, it's the days of whocanyousue.com. You're driving down the street. Oh,
Wait a minute. What was
You're
that?
the guy
whoyoucansue.com.
yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is that what it's boiling down to, man? Today's world, really? Whoicansue.com.
Not everybody, but
A lot.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough people. So so that's great, man. So you got, young family, you surfed, are you able to get out once a week?
not quite.
But,
Typically, once every couple weeks, once a month. It depends. It's summertime too, so the waves aren't as good unless we get a hurricane,
Yeah.
and we don't want one of those too close.
So do you get the mindset like when there's talk about one or a tropical storm coming in, do you tell like the wife, or do you have it already in your head like I'm closing my calendar like at least half this day and
Oh yeah.
I'm hitting it?
Oh yeah. She knows.
She knows.
She knows.
That's awesome.
Me and my buddies are texting and
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you had surf buddies. So
Yeah.
you just answered that.
yeah, man. Yeah, my cousins used to surf with me a lot. They've kind of slowed up recently, but I have some buddies in the program that I surf with, and it's a lot of fun.
Any favorite spot you surfed in?
There's definitely some spots. I don't know if I want to give them up on.
Okay,
On your-
yeah,
On your,
I get it.
on your YouTube.
Yeah, they might not be so
so
private.
special anymore, right?
Yeah, well, I know surfing, man. I don't know about the word junkie, but you got like surfing. What would you fanatics, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
just love surfing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but hey, if anybody ever wants to surf, you can always hit me up and.
Yeah, I'll get to give him an opportunity with his contact information when we wrap it up. So that's just amazing, man. That things are going well for you. I'm grateful that I get to know somebody like you and the lineage and the, how dedicated you guys all have been. Mike, I'm gonna call Mike. You know that
You got
when
to,
we're done. Him and I were on the regular for a minute.
right?
Yeah. And then we just kind of went sideways for a little bit, and it's just so hard,
Yeah,
man.
everybody gets busy and life happens, and
Yeah, but
got to make time.
it's like it always seems like when one thing stops in this field, or in our private lives, if as soon as one thing stops, the other opportunity opens right up in your calendar. Boom, it's right in your calendar again. Like my whole day, I'm nonstop until I get home.
That's awesome, man.
But well, I mean, it's a blessing for sure. Now I'm training for that 98-mile walk.
That's pretty special.
Oh my God, it's going to be unbelievable. Bring new awareness, the mental health needs of our first responders, and
So why 98 and not 100?
because do you recall? Oh, I got you, man. I caught up. I'm a little slow. I'll be 63 in a couple weeks. I'm not as young and quick as Eric anymore. But we were bullshitting before, and it's 98 because here in South Florida, down in Miami, if you're listening, there's probably a person out there that heard about it. That a large condo building collapsed down there, and all the first responders, they're very heroic that day. I talked to them a lot of them as a Marine. It's kind of close to my chest. Different jobs. I don't know how to do their jobs, but I do know what it's like to go from 0 to 100 over and over. And they pulled 98 bodies out of that day, and it was very difficult. The trauma and the PTSD that rippled off that was crazy, because prior to this training, it's the first week of December. I did one last year, 71 miles down to there, and the conversations that I was having with all these first responders, this whole thing changed my life. Last year it changed my life because, I would stop at all the station houses too. I think I hit 15 to 20 station. That was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then these guys were just opening up, talking. And then before I got to Surfside, there was one last station house. There's a bay in Miami, a bay. And then there was a bridge. And then Surfside was just, I don't know, about a mile or so past that bridge. And talking with one of the captains, because they escorted me over that bridge. And they were, he was telling me, of course, we did what we had to do. And they were down there on that pile for about 18 hours straight.
Man.
When they got relieved, because they were the first truck on the scene, when they got relieved, he said that shift, I forget what shift it was. Usually they have like an A, B, and C shift, 24 hours, mm-hmm. Right? A, B, C. They couldn't go back. Yeah, it was really tough. So they were grateful for what we do, the money we raise. It provides free mental health counseling for our first responders and our veterans. They truly need it. They see things most of us don't see, and if you do see, maybe it's once or something in your life. This is pretty much on the regular.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing you're doing that, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm grateful to do it, and that's another benefit of my recovery. And it's guys like Eric that just gave it to me. Like his grandpa passed it on, Eric's still passing it on, and I was a recipient of getting it passed on. My this last battle was 18 years ago, and I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. All I can do is just show you what I did and what I continue to do, because I have a very serious health condition, a very serious medical condition, and not to complicate it, because I'm not a complicated guy, but it will all start with I don't like how I feel. And if I allow myself to be in that position for a long period of time, for me, not through rocket science and test tubes and mathematical equations, just based on my history. Because I started at 11, but prior even to 11, I just didn't like how I felt. I was already kind of out here until I was 44. So you do the math based on my history I'll use. So for some reason, I'll never figure that out either, and I don't even bother with that stuff anymore, For some reason, I was given the opportunity to get out of the way and start doing what I didn't want to do. Because for me, that's the secret sauce, right? Doing what I don't want to do. And how cool is that for a loser like me? It told me I was a loser my whole life. You know what I mean? I just wasn't that guy. And
that's the last thing I'd ever think about you.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Uh, yeah, man, I've been very fortunate, because it really screwed up a lot of things. My ex-wife, my children, and that's how awful this thing is. And I don't think it truly is who somebody is. I'm not my illness.
You know what's interesting is, you say that kind of stuff to yourself, but you would never say that to another person.
No,
Why would you say it to you?
because it's my defect.
Right?
It's like a defect, yeah, and I make an agreement with it. And nobody ever taught me how to break that agreement, rip that agreement up. When I was drinking alcoholically, I never met any alcoholic that really liked themselves and didn't have an anger problem.
Right?
And I hired you, and he's in my backyard, and I'm all pissed off, because I have all these resentments. It's part of the deal, being an alcoholic. And, he's supposed to be doing something in my backyard. Every time I look out there, he's eating a sandwich, he's on his phone, he's BSing with my neighbor. I'm like, look at this guy. I start bitching to my wife, but look at this guy. He's out there. Who the hell does? Finally, I walk out there. Yo, bro, you ain't doing nothing, You got to pack your stuff and get out of here. Take that agreement and go, like that. I never knew how to rip them up when it came to me, though.
Yeah.
And that's what people like you taught me, and facilities like you or Beachcomber or Beachway taught me. And that's all I try to do now is it only has power on you because you agree to it. Break the agreement or learn how to break the agreement, then it no longer has power on you, and you empower yourself.
Love it's just showing up too.
Showing up, man.
Showing up and doing the right thing.
Yep. Because showing up, I'm connected, and that's the opposite of addiction. Is connection. So physically, I'm screwed. If you're listening, I'm screwed. But here's the gift for a guy like me. I get to change my thinking, because it's my thinking that keeps putting it in, nothing else. So very fortunate. How could they get in touch with you?
You could call us at 561-276-6226 or find us online at thebeachcomberrehabilitation.com.
Awesome. And they could find their way to you through that, right?
Yeah, or they can follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
If there's anything, that Eric might have touched you with, or that I might have touched you with, either way, I can get in touch with him too, or vice versa. And I'm the same as Eric, beachway.com. My email address there is tim.r@beachway.com. Social media all over the place. I love working with the first responders. There's something very unique about that, and it's an honor to do it too, because I know you'd be there for me and Eric. God forbid we had to call you in an emergency. So
thank God.
It was wonderful, man, to speak with you today.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
for inviting me.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing, some things about the Beachcomber.
Of course.
Most importantly, its longevity. South Florida is an awesome place to get well. The weather, we have 2 seasons. Hot and really hot.
Yep.
A little better, of course, in the latter part of the year and the early, beginning of the year when everybody else is freezing their butts off.
Right.
Well, you can surf all year round down here. Not that you couldn't up there. You I guess, have to get more gear on.
Yeah,
right?
Wetsuit.
But down here, you just throw your flip flops off and go in.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hey, we love you. Until next time, be good to yourself. You're worth it. And if you feel that you reach out and you just don't know how to do that, we both understand that. And hopefully either Eric or I got you to that point where you can reach out. And of course, everything is confidential. If not, maybe we inspired you to do something else. Until then, we wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love.